Hai, Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Hi everyone. So we meet again in Form 5. Alright, so for today we are going to learn Chapter 1 in Form 5. Alright, so what is the title for today? Organization of plant tissues and growth. Alright, okay, I want you to stay focused and listen to me carefully. The concept of what we are going to learn in this chapter. Alright, so I repeat again, the title for chapter 1 is Organization of Plant Tissues and Growth. Okay, so let's go to the learning standards. Learning standards. Okay, before we go to the learning standard, so this is referred to the subtopic in chapter 1, 1.1 Organization of Plant Tissues. Right, so for today we are going to learn about the organization of plant tissues. Alright, so in this subtopic you are able to communicate about the types of plant tissue and their main functions. Okay, so you have to know the types of the plant tissue and also their function. Alright, so let's go to the organization of plant tissues. So plant tissues can be divided into two main types of tissues. So what are they? Meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Alright, so you have to know that in plant tissue there are only two types of the tissue, two types of the main tissue in the plant cells, in the plant tissue. Okay, what are they? Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Okay, meristematic tissue can be divided into two: apical meristematic tissue and the second one is lateral meristematic tissue. Alright, so make sure you can spell and also pronounce the meristematic tissue, not the meristem or not the systematic tissue. It is meristematic tissue. Okay, meristematic tissue can be divided into apical and also lateral meristematic tissue. And then we go to the permanent tissue. Permanent tissue in the plant tissue can be divided into three. Okay, what are they? Epidermal tissues, ground tissues, and also vascular tissue. Epidermal tissue, ground tissues, and vascular tissues. Okay, and then ground tissues can be divided into three. Okay, what are they? Parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. Alright, okay. So there are three types of the ground tissue. I repeat, parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. Right? Okay, next we go to the vascular tissue. Okay, vascular tissue you already learned. You already learned in Form 3. In Form 3 that vascular tissue can be divided into two types. Xylem tissues and also flower tissues. Alright. Okay. So these are referred to the organization of plant tissues. Okay, I repeat, plant tissues can be divided into two main types of tissue, which are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissue refer to the actively dividing tissues. Actively dividing cells that carry out mitosis repeatedly. Okay, and permanent tissue refer to the mature tissue that already undergo differentiation. Right? Okay, so now let's go. We are going to learn one by one. One by one of the two main types of the plant tissues. Okay, first of all, we go to the permanent tissues. Yeah, permanent tissues of the plant tissues. Okay, what is a permanent tissue? Yeah, permanent tissues are matured tissue. Yeah, matured tissue which are already undergo differentiation. Alright, so make sure you can know what is the meaning of the matured. Yeah, matured. Matured refer to the tissue yang matang. Yeah, tissue yang sudah mengalami differentiation. Yeah, so what is the differentiation? The cell become specialized. Yeah, the cell becomes specialized and carry out specific function. Right? So they are permanent tissues. Okay. Now we go to the three types of the permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissues can be divided into epidermal tissue, ground tissue, and also vascular tissue. Okay, ground tissue can be divided into three: parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. Alright, okay. So vascular tissue can be divided into xylem and phloem. Alright, so now let's go one by one. Okay, before we go to the three types of the permanent tissue, okay, we go first to the position of permanent tissues. Position of the permanent tissues in plant. Yeah, in plant. Right, so this is a plant. Right, okay, so this is referred to the leaf. Right, leaf of the plant. This is referred to the stem of the plant, and this one referred to the root of the stem. Root of the plant. Right. Okay, so when we do the cross section, the cross section of the leaf, okay, what can we find out? Okay, so we can find the three types of the permanent tissue of the leaf. Okay, they are epidermal tissue, epidermal tissue, okay, and this is referred to the vascular tissue. Okay, vascular tissue. So inside or between this tissue, epidermal and also the vascular tissue, they are permanent tissue. Okay, what about the stem? Okay, when we do the cross section on the stem of the plant, okay, so we also can find epidermal tissue, epidermal tissue here, right? And then the ground tissue here, okay, the ground tissue, the ground tissue, and this one refer to the xylem and phloem. Alright, okay, xylem in the inner side, phloem at the outer side. Okay, so they are vascular tissue. Okay, what about the root? Okay, when we do the cross section of the root, we also can find the epidermal tissue, on the outer wall, right? Okay, and then the ground tissue here, and also the vascular tissue here that consists of xylem and phloem. Okay, so that are referred to the position of the permanent tissue in plant. Alright, so make sure you can know the position of these tissues. Okay, now let's go to the ground tissues. Ground tissues. As we know before, ground tissues can be divided into parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and also sclerenchyma tissues. Alright, so we go first to the parenchyma. Parenchyma tissue. Okay, they are simplest living cells. It's simplest. Living cell hidup yang paling ringkas, so the parenchyma do not undergo differentiation. Do not undergo differentiation means that the parenchyma tissue do not become specialized, and also do not carry out the specific function. Okay, that is the parenchyma tissue. Okay, have thinnest cell wall. Yeah, have thinnest cell wall. Okay, as we look at this diagram, so this is referred to the parenchyma tissue. Okay, the wall, yeah, the wall of the parenchyma is a little bit thin. Yeah, okay, so it has a thinnest cell wall, yeah, for the plant tissue. Always in turgid state. Yeah, always in turgid state, providing support and maintain the shape of herbaceous plant. Yeah, always in turgid state. Ya, selalu sentiasa dalam keadaan segah. Yeah. Right. Involved in photosynthesis, helps in the storage of starch and sugar. So inside the parenchyma tissue, there are a lot of starch and sugar are stored here. Yeah. And involved in the gases exchange. Right. They are also involved in repair and regeneration of the plant tissues. Okay. So you have to know that parenchyma is a simple tissue that do not undergo differentiation. So what is the function of the parenchyma? Parenchyma provides support, yeah, and maintain the shape of herbaceous plant. And also they are involved in the photosynthesis and also help in the storage of starch and sugar. Okay, now let's go to the second types of the ground tissue, which is collenchyma tissue. Yeah, collenchyma. The collenchyma is a living cell also, yeah, living cell, which mature into cells that are flexible. Yeah, so this collenchyma tissue will mature, yeah, will mature into the flexible, yeah, into the flexible tissue, become flexible. Yeah, so this tissue become flexible or easily change the shape, right? So have cell walls made of pectin and hemicellulose. Alright, so pectin refer to the gel agent. Has a jelly characteristics, yeah, and hemicellulose, yeah, hemicellulose. So hemicellulose will cause the collenchyma tissue, yeah, the collenchyma tissue become flexible, yeah, become flexible because the cellulose will provide the cell wall to become rigid. When there is a hemi, so means that the rigidity is a little bit less, right? So and the cell become flexible. Right? Okay, and their cell walls are thicker than parenchyma. Yeah, parenchyma has a thinner cell wall, whereby the collenchyma cell wall are thicker. Yeah, thicker, a little bit thicker. So this is referred to the structure of the collenchyma tissue. Okay, next we go to the sclerenchyma tissue. Okay, sclerenchyma tissue consists of dead cells. Okay, consists of the dead cells when they are matured. Yeah, when they are matured. Okay, so again, sclerenchyma tissue. So sclerenchyma tissue consists of dead cells. Yeah, when they are matured. Yeah, when they are matured. It provides support and mechanical strength. Yeah, it provides support and mechanical strength. Okay, so as we can see from the diagram here, the cell wall of the sclerenchyma tissue is thickest, yeah, thickest and a little bit rigid, right? So it will provide support and mechanical strength to the plants. Okay, so we have to know that sclerenchyma is a dead cell. Yeah, dead cell is not a living cell. Yeah, so it becomes dead when they are mature. Okay, so it will provide support and mechanical strength. And what is the function of the sclerenchyma tissue? It will help in the transport of water and nutrients in plants. Alright, okay, that is referred to the ground tissues. Okay, I repeat, ground tissues can be divided into parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. Okay, you have to know the differentiation between these three types of the ground tissue, and at least you remember one function of the each types of the ground tissues. Okay. Alright, now let's go to the epidermal tissue. The epidermal tissue. Epidermal tissue is one of the permanent tissue. Okay, it's the one type of the permanent tissue. So, epidermal tissue is referred to the outermost surface of stems, leaf, and roots of young plants. Yeah, outermost surface of stem, leaf, and roots. Right? Okay. So, on the epidermal tissue, there is a cuticle. Yeah, okay, on the top of the epidermal tissue, there is a cuticle. So what is a cuticle? It is a waxy and waterproof layer. Yeah, waterproof layer that cover epidermal cell wall. Alright, so it is a waxy and waterproof layer. So it is referred to the cuticle. So cuticle exposed to the air, it will reduce the loss of water through transpiration and also protect from the pathogen. Alright, okay, so cuticle is very important to epidermal tissue. Okay, then there are modified epidermal cells. Okay, they are modified epidermal cells. They are also epidermal cells, but they are undergo a little bit modification. Okay, so what are they? They are gut cells. Okay, so gut cells. Right? Now, gut cells function control the opening of stoma. Okay, so this is referred to the gut cell. Yeah, gut cell of the epidermal cells. Yeah. Then root hair cells. Yeah, root hair cells that located in the root. Yeah, at the root. Yeah, there is a root hair cells. So these root hair cells increase the surface area of root for water and mineral absorption. Alright, okay, so this is referred to the root hair cells of the root. Okay, so this is referred to the epidermal tissue, yeah, of the permanent tissues of plant. Alright, okay, now last one. Go to the we go to the vascular tissue. Yeah, vascular tissue. So, as we learned before, vascular tissue can be divided into xylem and phloem. Okay, so xylem made up of dead cells. Yeah, okay, xylem made up of dead cell is not the living cell. Yeah, so dead cell, why? Because it does not consist of cytoplasm in the cell. Yeah, so or in other words, we can say that dead cells without cytoplasm. So cell walls of xylem contains lignin. Yeah, contains lignin. Alright, so what is a lignin? Lignin refers to the substance that cause the cell walls become rigid. Yeah, become rigid or a little bit hard. Right? Okay, it consists of xylem vessels that are elongated. Yeah, elongated mean that is very long. Yeah, long. Yeah, it started from the root to the shoot of the plant. Yeah, elongated, hollow. Yeah, hollow. Right? Okay, hollow and connected to each other from root to the leaf. Okay, that is referred to the xylem vessel. Okay, what is the function of the xylem? Transport water and mineral salts to all parts of the plant. Okay, transport water and mineral salts. Okay, next we go to the phloem, the second type of vascular tissue. It is a living cell. Yeah, phloem is a living cell that made up of companion cells and sieve tube. Yeah, sieve tube are living cells that have cytoplasm but do not have organelles. Yeah, as they decompose when matured. Right? So when matured, this sieve tube will do not have any organelles because they decompose. All right. Okay, phloem consists of sieve tubes arranged from end to end, forming elongated. Yeah, also elongated, right? Okay, and continuous tube structure. Yeah, elongated and continuous, but not hollow. Hollow is for xylem. Yeah, for the xylem vessel, right? Phloem, it is also elongated, but it is continuous tube structures. Yeah, a phloem transport sugar from leaf to storage organ. Yeah, to the storage organ such as fruit. Right, so the phloem will transport sugar that produced from the photosynthesis to be stored in the fruit. Alright, okay. Fruit refer to the storage organ. So this is referred to the structure of the phloem tissue. Yeah, phloem tissue. This is referred to the sieve tube, and this is referred to the companion cell. Okay, and this one refer to the structure of the xylem tissue. So this is referred to the xylem vessel that are elongated and hollow. Yeah, and hollow, and these they are dead cell. All right. Okay, so that's all for our lesson today. So make sure you can know the organization of the plant tissues. All right. So I repeat. Yeah. Okay. The permanent tissue. Okay, the permanent tissue can be divided into three: epidermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. So ground tissue can be divided into parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. Okay, whereby the vascular tissue can be divided into xylem and phloem. Okay, that is referred to the permanent tissues. And again, what is a permanent tissues? Permanent tissues refer to the matured tissues that already undergo differentiation. Mean that these cells, yeah, or these tissues are already become specialized and also carry out the specific function. Alright, okay, so that's all for now. I hope you can understand. Alright, so in our next lesson, we are going to learn about the meristematic tissue, the second types of the plant tissues. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, right, so make sure you can understand and also learn something, and please do your revision. Okay, alright, so that's all for now, girls. Thank you.